What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So today being a Sunday, we're going to look ahead for the following week and look at Trading212 to see what stocks / ETFs I'm going to be buying for the week ahead. And with all that being said, let's dive right on into today's video. So last week saw my portfolio rise about 1 to 1.5%, so again, it's been a pretty good week all in all. We can see here on the left it's currently worth just over €9,000, 7,692 of that is my own capital, and we're up €1,313 or just over 17%. Now we can also see here we have a further 153 funds, and that's what I'm going to invest next week. So over the last week we've added a further 2 funds to my overall portfolio, which is now sitting at 33 holdings overall. Now I do want to add one further fund or stock into my real estate sector, and I want to add one to my utilities because we currently have no positions there. So that will then round up my 35 holdings within the portfolio. So this week I'm going to kind of focus more on dollar cost averaging, and next week I'm going to add further positions into utilities and real estate. So the way I'm going to break up this €150 is I'm going to invest it 2 times during the week, so 75 each time. The first of these will be once the market's open tomorrow, so 75 then, and I'll also invest the other 75 on Thursday. So now I'm going to open up a blank Excel on Google Sheets, and I'm going to show you how I allocate my capital out when buying stocks. Now here we are on Google Sheets, and obviously because on Monday we can actually do what stocks I'm buying for Monday, but on Thursday we don't know what way the market's going to react or what the way the stocks are going to react, so I won't be able to actually calculate Thursday's one probably until Thursday morning or maybe Wednesday evening. So for now we're going to focus on Monday for the €75, and what I do is basically look through my portfolio. Now we'll do this very briefly, we'll just see what stocks are currently in the red first, and we'll start to compile a list. If you're new to this channel, or again if you've seen any of my prior videos and need a refreshment, this is basically just my channel overall, the way I invest. It's not rocket science, it's literally dollar cost averaging in stocks that are down in value. So once I invest further into stocks that are down, my overall average cost goes down as well, effectively in the long term give me a bigger profit. Now I don't want to complicate things here, and probably on this channel I try to simplify things as much as I can, because people do try to make investing like rocket science, and it's not at all, it's quite simplistic. So what I'm going to do now firstly is literally just run through my overall portfolio very briefly and see what stocks are in the red and start adding them to that list. When I usually make these kind of videos I would look at my portfolio pies, but to make this quicker we'll actually just look at my investments as they're not segregated into pies here, so it's a lot faster to check. So we'll do these in stages of 5. Now we can see the top 5 holdings here are all in the green. 3M is up 19.5%, AbbVie up 28.6%, Alphabet is up nearly 60%, Amazon up over 12%, and we have 17.8% in the green in Apple. So obviously we're not going to touch any of these 5 today. The next 5 we then have is Bank of America up 66%, Barrick Gold is down 2.7%. Now this is one of my new positions in materials. We only have a tiny position here at the moment, not even €30. So we will be adding further here, and we'll add this to the list in a few seconds. We then have Caterpillar up 46%, Chevron up 40.8%, and Coca-Cola is up over 11%. So far we'll have Barrick Gold on the list. We then have ExxonMobil up over 66%. We have Facebook up 26.5%. First Majestic Silver, the other material stock that I bought, is now down 4.6%, which I'm actually quite pleased with as weird as that sounds, because we have a tiny position here, so it gives great opportunity to get a lot more dollar cost average in here. So I'm going to add that to the list as well as Barrick Gold. We then have Goldman Sachs up 74%, and finally here we have HighTide down 9.7%. So the 2 stocks here will be First Majestic Silver and HighTide. The next 5 on the list is IBM up 19.5%. We're going to leave that obviously. iShares Global Clean Energy we will be adding, it's down 8.5%. We then have Johnson & Johnson up over 11%. JP Morgan Chase up 57%, and then MasterCard up 17.6%. So the only one here will be the ETF. We then have my next 9 holdings. McDonald's all in the green up 12% here. Microsoft up nearly 21%. Nike is down 0.5%. Now that's not a lot in comparison to some of the others that are in the red. We'll add it for now, but we'll probably be only putting a minute amount of that 75 into the stock this week. We then have PepsiCo up 9.6%. Pfizer up over 9% as well. P&G over the 2% mark in the green. Realty Income, my one real estate stock, is up over 17%. Tesla is up 0.8%. Now I was hoping to invest further here. Recently it was down about 4%, but I was a bit late getting in, so I just left it. I do want to get to 1 full share. At the moment we can see we have 0.77 of a share, so we're nearly there. I would like to get to that 1 full share, as I said. So again, the next time this goes to the red, I'll be sure to snap up more. And then we have my Vanguard FTSE 100 up over 17% as well. And finally, the last 4 here are all in the green as well, thankfully. The FTSE, or the S&P 500, should I say, is up nearly 24%. Visa is up 17.4%. If we look then on Walt Disney is up 45%, and Waste Management is up 22.7%. We can see on screen now that we have 5 stocks out of the 33 that are currently in the red. Now that's why I have so many stocks, because it gives a great opportunity always to have stocks to dollar cost average into. So I'm quite happy now that I actually have 5, believe it or not, because it gives me great opportunity to get in at cheaper prices across the board. Now we can see a variety of different sectors here. For example, we have my materials in the form of Barrick Gold and First Trust or First Majestic Silver. We then have my penny stock in HighTide, which is a cannabis or Canadian cannabis stock. We then have my clean energy ETF, obviously the energy sector, and Nike also is in consumer discretionary. So we have a vast array of different sectors at play here. So what I usually do once I have my stocks, so we have 5 here as we can see. I sum up the 5 stocks here, which equates to €973 invested. So then what I do, I get a percentage of what they actually are. So we can see here in column B, my overall percentage in terms of the value at stake. So just as an example here, we have D4, we divide that by my overall 973, which will give us 2.98%, and so on and so forth the whole way down. For example, again, the clean energy has €409.50 invested, which equates to 42% of the overall value of these 5 stocks. So that's how I do that, and then it gives me a rough estimate in column A here, where I say how much money of that €75 based on this percentage that I would invest into that stock. Now that figure in column A is only a rough estimate. It doesn't actually equate in this formula of what percentage is actually down. So I just use this as a rough estimate. We can even see here as an example for Nike, we have €309 invested. It's only down less than 0.5% in comparison, let's say HighTide and the iShares Global Clean Energy, which is down 8.5% and 9.7%. So I don't want to put a lot more capital in here, for example, because it's only down 0.5%. So I just use this as a rough estimate, and I base that then off column F, where I put in what I actually want to invest. So based off this formula, I should be investing €23.80 in Nike, but I'm only putting in 15 because it's only down 0.5%, and I'm putting more into the likes of the top 2 here that are down 2.7% and 4.6%. We are also putting in roughly what the formula suggests. For the HighTide and iShares, it suggested 15.18 and 31.56, and I'm putting in 15 and 30. So in column F here, that equates to €75. So I'm going to go ahead now and put in orders for when the market opens for all 5 of these stocks. So I've went ahead and put in that €75 order on those 5 stocks. So we can see now we have pending orders of €75. They will all go through once the relative markets open tomorrow for all 5 of those stocks / ETFs. So that's pretty much how I'm going about investing lately. It's not rocket science. It's all about dollar cost averaging down in the stocks in the red and allocating your capital accordingly in terms of how much the stock is down and how much value you have in that stock. So again, as stated, I'll do the same thing on Thursday. Once the markets kind of settle down this week, Wednesday evening or Thursday morning, I'll do the exact same thing. Now I probably won't even bother making a video on this because it'll pretty much be the exact same as what I'm doing now in terms of how I approach this. But I'll definitely update you in Friday's weekly portfolio update on what stocks I actually did go through and buying even more of. So thanks very much. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and I will see you all in tomorrow's video.